Alright, what's going on, guys? Spence back again with another video, and today we're talking shoes again. Now I'm going to tell you about my last two shoes in my main rotation, that being the Saucony Triumph, which is kind of my everyday mileage trainer, and the Adidas SL20, which I also rotate in and out. And this is more of my long run shoe, and I'll tell you why in a minute here. So I'm going to start with the Saucony Triumph, kind of my everyday high cushion, high mileage trainer shoe. Now both these shoes to start, let me say they both have 200 miles, well over 200 miles on them. And neither Saucony nor Adidas is paying me to say anything, so they're not going to get to see the footage before anybody, before you guys, I should say. And with that out of the way, let me jump into the Saucony Triumph really quick. So pretty standard upper, it's mesh upper, Power Run Plus midsole. It's also got the form fit, which kind of adapts to your foot, which I actually really like. And it works really well. Very stout on the heel collar, not really much bending going on there, and a very, very high build quality throughout the upper of the shoe, and it's very strong and durable on the upper. Now onto the midsole, which I mentioned Power Run Plus, and it's kind of that very soft, cushiony. You can see if I put it up closer to the camera, I can really squeeze this. So super soft, nice and plush. That's what I really like about this shoe, how nice and plush it is for everyday mileage. Now in a men's size 9, it's a little bit heavier. It's about 10.5 ounces in a men's size 9. But I can deal with that just because of how plush and how comfortable it is to me. Now the price point on this is typically a little bit more than what I would pay for a shoe like this. It's $149.95 on Running Warehouse, but I think this shoe is worth it. On the underside, you got that crystal rubber that Saucony is known for in a lot of their shoes, and to be honest, it doesn't even look like it's really worn too much, and that is huge. I think I have like 260 miles on these shoes, and it really doesn't look like it's worn outside of, you know, the mud on the shoe, but you know, that's about it. Again, this is kind of my everyday mileage shoe. I'll warm up, cool down in something like this before workouts. I'll do my everyday runs in these when I'm just kind of taking it easy. So that is the Saucony Triumph. I think if you like a high cushion, plush, neutral trainer, this shoe could do the trick for you if you can afford it. That's the only downside for me, is that price point of $149.95. But with how stout and how well this shoe is built, I think overall the shoe is very worth it. Now we're gonna move on to the Adidas SL20. Now this is my long run shoe that I mentioned, and this might surprise you that this is my long run shoe, but again, stout heel collar, not much bend going on. It's actually still very flexible in the forefoot, and I do like that. It's got the full light strike midsole, which this is the first Adidas shoe to have the full light strike midsole, and the only other shoe that has a full-on light strike midsole cushioning or even close to it is the Adidas Adi Pro, which I believe that's up on Running Warehouse right now. But this shoe also comes in at about 8 ounces. To me, this is like a borderline racing flat. This is about as close as you can get. 10 millimeter drop, 25 in the heel and 15 in the forefoot. So You really do feel the ground in this shoe, but I'm completely okay with that, as the Light Strike is still providing a soft enough landing for me to, you know, feel comfortable and cushioned in this shoe. The underside, of course, it's Adidas's Continental rubber. It's also got the torsion plate to add some rigidity and slight stability to the shoe. Now this shoe has about 230 or 240 miles, and it's only showing slight signs of wear, and that's just right in the ball of the foot area. But again, this shoe is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. This shoe is only $89.95 on Running Warehouse, so if you're looking for a shoe that's in between the Adidas Adios and the Adidas Boston, something potentially better, I think this is your shoe right here. Now, the reason that this is my long run shoe is I do a lot of long runs where the mid portion or the back portion is significantly faster than my first bit or any sort of stretch. So when I do long runs with guys like Andre, who's a sub 410 miler, Clayton Murphy, Kyle Mao, and some of the other guys that are in the area, I tend to lean towards this shoe because this will give me that protection while also still feeling light and quick on my feet. It's got a nice, I would say, single layer mesh upper, maybe even dual, just to add some slight stability, but there are a lot of overlays that help with that, especially the overlay right here where my shoes would typically rip if I turn in too much and too often, or if I run too much on my forefoot. But when I do my long runs, especially the up-tempo marathon finish type of long runs, this is a shoe I lean towards. Now, for me, I'm going to also explain this really quickly. For me, the long run, I treat like a workout, and for me, it is a de facto strength session in terms of where I would place it on my workout scale. Like an example, it's like me doing a marathon fartlek or something that's working on more of that aerobic threshold, that marathon system. Where if I'm doing a quicker workout, I'll lean towards something like the Saucony Endorphin series. So that is what I have on this. Now, I tried to keep both these as brief as possible. So those are the other two shoes mainly in my rotation. I also do throw in the Saucony Kinvaras as well as the Nike Zoomfly Flyknit, which I only occasionally will wear. And I'll wear those sometimes for an up-tempo long run or a marathon finish type of long run where I'm working on that aerobic threshold. But that's the video I got for you guys today. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button. Comment on what you want to see next. I would love to hear what you suggest next. And with that being said, links to Shakeout Apparel, my podcast called The Unattached Podcast, down below in the description, as well as Science and Sport and Artican as well. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces, y'all.